we continue those tributes pouring in. And for that, we're also joined by stalwart Reverend Frank Chikane. Reverend, a good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. The DSG, they're actually mentioning the role that former Minister Pravin Gordhan played in bringing together various structures under the umbrella of the UDF, and you really very much there in 1983 when the Natal Indian Congress became a unit with the UDF. Talk to us about your first initial thoughts at the news of his passing, and then when you reflect on that pre-1994 contribution, what do you think about first?
Well, let me just first express my condolences to the family. I think they are the most important people now. We need to support them and be with them. Indeed, the passing of Comrade Pravin is a great loss to the nation, but he has served and played his role to serve this country. My first encounter with him was in the trenches of the struggle, visiting the Durban semi-underground to work on the issues that we're working together on, mobilizing the masses. And that led to the formation of the United Democratic Front. And I remember us using the Transvaal Indian Congress meeting in Johannesburg to bring all the activists in the country. And he was part of that operation to decide on the launch of the United Democratic Front. And from there on, we worked together hard to liberate this country. We paid a lot. He got detained, and as usual, as the apartheid system would do, tortured him and others. But he never gave up. He took a stand until we got rid of the apartheid system. And the next chapter was how we would transform an apartheid reality into a liberated country. And he played a very critical role, starting from Parliament to SARS. I think he has to be remembered really for what he did in SARS. The revenue services. I mean, he made sure we have a machine that delivers, even up to today. And the state capture operation tried to destroy it, but it's back on its feet, and we have to celebrate his life in that contribution.
Yeah, and you know, one of the big talking points this morning in getting a reaction has been that the last few years of his career in government really difficult, right? You know, dealing with some very serious, divisive, contentious issues. You know, a few people mentioning his handling of the SAA matter, for instance, but certainly a lot of people speaking about, I suppose, the integrity with which he dealt with some of those difficulties. I mean, what do you take from that, Reverend, that he was at the heart of some very difficult economic conversations in our country, particularly in the 5th and 6th administrations?
Well, the starting point is that he resisted state capture. He resisted when he was a finance minister. People who wanted to capture the treasury and use it for their own purposes rather than serve the people of South Africa. And I honor him for that, because it was costly for him, difficult, challenging, but he took a stand. And after that, he served in different portfolios. Let me just say, to sum it up, you know, in my training on governance, one professor said, government, it's about mediating conflicting interests. And I think he was launched into those difficult environments at the center of the economy. I think when you mediate conflicting interests, you mediate them in the interest of the people. That is the majority of the people in the country. And that was his challenge that he had to deal with, and it wasn't easy.
Yeah, Reverend, an absolute pleasure speaking to you. Condolences to you as well, and thank you so much for giving us your time, Reverend Frank Chikane. There, we continue paying tribute to the former minister, Pravin Gordhan.